Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has long been known for his sharp wit and unapologetic commentary in the world of hip-hop, but his latest venture into documentary filmmaking marks a significant pivot, one that delves deep into the turbulent life and career of Sean Diddy Combs. With Combs currently incarcerated and awaiting trial on serious charges, Jackson's project, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning, has thrust him into the spotlight not just as a producer but as a provocateur who has trolled Combs for years. Yet, in a surprising turn, Jackson insists that this isn't about personal vendettas. It's about truth-telling, collaboration, and letting the facts speak for themselves. Streaming exclusively on Netflix, the documentary has already sparked conversations across entertainment circles, forcing viewers to confront the duality of Combs' legacy. A titan of music who built an empire on charisma and innovation, now shadowed by allegations of abuse, exploitation, and excess. Jackson's involvement in this project isn't entirely out of left field. The rapper, whose own rise to fame was marked by resilience after surviving a near-fatal shooting in 2000, has always thrived on narratives of survival and scrutiny. His history with Combs dates back to public spats and memes that painted Jackson as the ultimate antagonist in Combs' story. Social media timelines are littered with Jackson's posts mocking Combs' infamous white parties, his business dealings, and even his dance moves, content that often blurred the line between jest and genuine critique. But as Combs' legal troubles escalated in recent months, with federal raids on his properties and multiple lawsuits alleging misconduct spanning decades, Jackson saw an opportunity to elevate the discourse. "I've been collecting stories for months," Jackson revealed in a detailed interview, emphasizing that his role was more curator than creator. He began reaching out to potential contributors, individuals from Combs' inner circle, former employees, and alleged victims, who were hesitant to speak publicly but felt emboldened by Jackson's reputation for protecting sources. "They knew I wouldn't flinch at the truth no matter how ugly it got," he said, underscoring the trust he built through his no-nonsense persona. Central to the documentary's credibility is documentarian Alexandria Stapleton, whom Jackson credits as the project's true architect. Stapleton, a seasoned filmmaker with a track record of unflinching exposés on power dynamics in entertainment, was brought on to ensure the narrative remained objective. Jackson, ever the strategist, started his groundwork 5 months ahead of her involvement, amassing a trove of interviews and archival footage. But once Stapleton took the helm, she wielded editorial control, sifting through the material to craft a balanced portrait. This collaboration wasn't without its tensions. Jackson described late-night screenings where he'd offer insights from his vantage point, recollections of hip-hop's cultural shifts during Combs' peak, or the behind-the-scenes rivalries that fueled the Bad Boy Records era. "I'd say, look, this is what was happening in the clubs back then," he recounted, and she'd listen, sometimes incorporate it, sometimes push back. It was her call. This dynamic highlights a rare humility from Jackson, who typically dominates his projects like Power or BMF, where his vision is absolute. Here he stepped back, allowing Stapleton's expertise to guide the tone, ensuring the film didn't devolve into a hit piece but rather a reckoning, a term that evokes both judgment and reflection. The documentary itself unfolds like a hip-hop opera, tracing Combs' ascent from a Harlem hustler to a mogul whose influence reshaped the genre. Viewers are treated to vivid recreations of pivotal moments: the 1997 East Coast-West Coast feud that nearly tore the industry apart, Combs' lavish launches of Sean John clothing line, and the glittering parties that masked deeper fractures. Archival clips show a young Combs mentoring the notorious B.I.G., his eyes alight with ambition, juxtaposed against more recent footage of courtroom sketches and tearful testimonies. Stapleton's direction shines in these contrasts, weaving in voices from across the spectrum: loyalists who hail Combs as a visionary, detractors who paint him as a predator. One particularly harrowing segment features anonymous contributors detailing alleged patterns of manipulation in Combs' professional relationships, from coercing artists into unfavorable deals to fostering an environment of fear. Jackson's touch is subtle but evident in the soundtrack, where tracks like his own "Many Men Wish Death" underscore themes of survival, echoing Combs' own brushes with mortality, including the 1999 nightclub shooting. What makes Sean Combs: The Reckoning more than just tabloid fodder is its exploration of systemic issues within the music industry. Jackson has been vocal about how Combs' story is emblematic of broader problems: the unchecked power of gatekeepers, the commodification of black excellence, and the silence bought by NDAs and payoffs. In the film, experts weigh in on the psychological toll of fame, drawing parallels to other fallen icons like R. Kelly or Bill Cosby. Jackson himself appears sparingly on camera, his presence more felt in the framing than the foreground. "I didn't want to be the star," he admitted. "This is about him, about what happens when no one's watching the watchers." This restraint has earned praise from critics, who note that the documentary avoids sensationalism, opting instead for a forensic approach that lets evidence accumulate like beats in a track building to a drop. Beyond the screen, the project's impact ripples through Jackson's career. As executive producer, he's positioned himself as a moral compass in hip-hop's chaotic landscape, leveraging his G-Unit film and television banner to greenlight stories that challenge the status quo. Fans have flooded social media with reactions, some hailing it as must-watch journalism, others decrying it as opportunistic. Jackson, unfazed, points to the viewership numbers. Netflix reports it's trending in the top 10 globally, as validation. Yet, he remains introspective, pondering in interviews how his own feuds with Combs might have foreshadowed this moment. "Trolling was easy," he reflected. "But truth? That's the real hustle." Looking ahead, Jackson hints at sequels or spin-offs, perhaps delving into Combs' trial or the fallout for Bad Boy alumni. For now, though, the reckoning stands as a testament to his evolution from street survivor to cultural commentator, reminding us that in the empire of entertainment, no throne is eternal.